extinction event actually look like on Earth? Here, it says here. And in addition to all humans and animals that would meet their ultimate end, Thanos' reality-altering snap would destroy some of the smallest life forms that are a fundamental part of human health. That was the one thing that people didn't think of because he said all life in the universe.
All life in the universe here cut in half.
So so the life forms that are a fundamental part of the human health are own gut microbes. How would humans fare if we suddenly lost half of our microbes that keep us healthy? Because those things are alive. And if half of our microbes were gone, that's the question. You're in the medical field.
Well,
if we lost half of our microbes.
Are we talking about living organisms everywhere or as their own living organisms? Or are we talking about a human as
I assumed that maybe Thanos' snap affect intelligent life and even animal life
and plant life too.
Probably in plant life too. But he technically said all life. So if germs are and all the microbes and if those things are alive, which we know they are, the germs or the microbes that help keep us they fight off infection and stuff, half of them would have been snapped. So wouldn't a lot of living organisms throughout the universe have been vulnerable to disease?
Yes, it could have been like immunocompromised.
And Perry Kelly says Thanos is why he got the Infinity Stones like in the Marvel superheroes arcade game. Yeah, I played that game too. But the microbiome, am I saying this right? Microbiome is a complex ecosystem of organisms that includes bacteria, but also viruses as well as fungi, says Azuri Sullivan, an immunologist at Yale University. The microscopic ecosystem serves three main functions. First, it helps the host digest food by breaking down complex molecules. Humans have a pretty limited ability to digest complex plant material, so we rely on these commensal bacteria in our microbiome to break down complex carbohydrates that we get from eating plants. They go real deep.
That is very deep.
Now I'm assuming that Thanos was smart because when Hulk brought everybody back, he had to focus on just bring everybody that we lost, do not change anybody that we've gained or anything like that. Years. So you can concentrate and focus on some specifics. I'm assuming Thanos did that when he made his snap, even though he had an axe in his chest. Yeah, when Thor.
Well, he's been thinking about that his whole life.
Yeah,
he knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Good point.
And he wasn't going to change it because he was injured, which it seemed pretty fatal.
Yeah,
but no, he was dead on set. Not just the whole movie, but his entire existence.
Life. Yeah, whenever he set himself on his path. So I'm assuming that maybe he had it all planned out and written down. And maybe he named it Order 66 or something like that. We'll just give it a name, right?
Sure.
And when he did the snap, he probably was in his mind thinking, execute Order 66. Whatever I wrote down, my whole master plan, that's what I'm snapping about.
Yes.
Instead of just kill half the life on the earth. Because if he just killed half the life, then he's killing our immune systems and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that either. But that's
blew your mind on that one.
Mind blown.
So I mean, but is this theory right? I mean, you're in the
well, if we're talking about the movies, they don't ever mention that,
right?
But I would say yes, but also during the time that after the snap happened, it didn't seem like humans were immunocompromised just because the snap happened.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Fagan and them weren't thinking about that. I mean, that would be a pretty bleak movie.
But if we're talking about that,
I'm talking about in real life. If it was to happen,
if it was
in real
life, then yeah, it would be.
That would have been an extinction of human beings, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Most likely, yes, except for the people who did not get affected. If the people who did not get affected by their body being untouched by the snap, then yeah, they would be fine. But the people who did?
No. The theory is, even though they physically did not snap, half of whatever germs or whatever or microbes within them probably did. That's the theory, because they're alive.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just the half. It's separated in a kind of a way that's non-biased.
The unoriginal comic says, "Yo." By the way,
I know who that is.
But you know what? I think you just proved this article wrong, because I think what you just said is correct. Technically, all the people who were snapped did take away 50% of those microorganisms along with the people that were snapped. It's not like when the Winter Soldier turned to dust, his microorganism germs were like, I'm free. No, they're gone. They're probably gone too. So technically, that is 50%.
Yeah. And here's another thing. The clothes that they're all wearing, they get snapped away.
They get snapped away.
Clothes are not alive.
Exactly.
It's part of your person.
Yeah. Which means that whatever germs or microorganisms, whatever viruses, whatever that they had inside their body at the time, probably were snapped as well. Yes. Which technically counts.
And it's not like you're going to snap and then you come back naked.
Exactly.
No.
So right there with one sentence, he just proved it. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Our supporters help make all this content possible, so make sure you check out our Patreon page so you can help us bring you the content you want.
Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal. Yo. Turned up on another level. Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal.